Pharrell is blown away by a student and her music. She is a student, her name is Maggie. She's a student at NYU's Tisch School of Arts. Now, Pharrell was there to offer criticism. He was hosting their masterclass. And while he did offer constructive criticism to a number of the students, he had quite the different reaction with her. Watch.
I have zero notes for that. And I'll tell you why. It's because you're doing your own thing. It's singular. It's like when the Wu-Tang Clan came out, like no one could really judge it. You either liked it or you didn't, but you couldn't compare it to anything else.
Thoughts, Vipers or less?
Marry me, Mags.
Music to a student's ears. She must have died.
Yeah.
Hearing that.
That's so sad.
She must have been elated knowing that Pharrell was that. You saw how emotional he was. I mean, throughout listening to, not only did he have zero notes for her and told her that she was singular, and we'll talk about what the meaning of that was, but you saw his reaction throughout her whole song. He was blown away.
Yeah, and I think that the music, I think we were all blown away.
Yeah.
It's, man.
What do you think he meant by singular?
I think that that her sound is something that we haven't really heard before or explored before, been exposed to before. Maybe there are other artists with similar styles, but not with the sort of platform that she was given because of this masterclass. That's what I think he meant. And I went to her SoundCloud page after I heard this, and I loved hearing her story. And I can't think of the right word, but what I liked about her also is that she wasn't very. It's not the. I'm
alive after this.
No, it's not presumptuous, but it's like there wasn't any ego about her.
Modest.
Modest, but also just very.
Down to earth.
Yeah, just down to earth, genuine to herself. She just unassuming, I think it's what it was.
Unassuming and a grounded artist.
Yeah, she was like, this is my story, this is where my sound comes from, and here's the song. And it just all clicked, and there was a very synergistic sort of vibe about the whole thing, and I felt like we were, a fly on the wall. I thought it was great. I want more of her music.
I want more of her music too. Brett?
I enjoyed the music very much, and I liked watching Pharrell's face, specifically the moment when he realizes it's good, because it's like this very almost constipated.
Eyes were going back and forth.
Yeah.
Jet.
It's funny because
he's looking at someone off camera.
He just like...
He keeps looking at someone like...
Did you see her keep looking at him to gauge his
It's crazy
response?
Because when you think of music as it's just an auditory thing, so all you need are like your ears, but your face and body are there the whole time to react, and then it taps into your physicality through that weird ethereal just vibrations of your eardrums, and that sounds like I'm stoned. But it really, you get to watch it play out with someone who's very passionate about it, and you saw, I mean, this might not be true, but it always feels right. When someone's looking down, they're feeling, and when they're looking up, they're thinking. And you watch Pharrell try to like go from like surprise at like how fresh this take is on music to like kind of understanding her preface of the whole situation, which was like, I went out and recorded samples of the world to put this together, and then trying to figure out what they were and try to see how he could contribute notes, and just being like, no, you do it.
I don't have any notes.
The follow-up question
his note was to be yourself.
To be more, but like, the question is like, after I hear a note like that, I'd want to say like, right, okay, but how, but what? But actually give me some notes, because that would very much help.
I think,
what would you contribute as someone who's done it? Because like, my 5 words was like him doing like that gross, drop it like it's hot.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. Oh, okay.
And that's so unpopular, like he says. You got to be, later in the video, he says, don't be afraid to do something that is conventionally considered unpopular.
And he is really, I like that he gave that note, and that he also has a career that exemplifies that. Yeah. He's done that throughout his career.
Why do you think it's so difficult? Because he really made that point to explain to all of these students who are very talented, and said to them, you have to be singular. You have to not be afraid to dance to the beat of your own drum in so many words. And Why do you think it's difficult for people to do that? Is it all of these opinions that we listen to? Is it that we're afraid to go out on a limb and fail? Because it is hard. I mean, you see how sincere her music is because it's so sincerely her and it works. And of course, she's talented too. But I think that's a big challenge for many artists and performers, is just to trust their own craft. But how do you do that when you have so many people telling you what your craft should be?
Yeah. and
Well, it's
also-
easy actually.
Well, yeah, we all
So
know.
simple. You have to be just. Oh shit, we're out of time. Sorry. But no, it's so hard. That's what
It is.
that's what I wanted to get to. Is like, as any artist going into something new, especially if you're like, I mean, the people at Tisch is a very prestigious school. Like, it's the one that and Juilliard you want to get into. But once you're there, someone has said to you, "You're good," and then you're in this weird situation of like, but how? And they say that talent is just knowing what to take from the world and put into your own package. But like, it's tough. You really do need to do trial and error before you get a feeling for that part of you that notices what's good.
Right.
That's the hard part. Is like, you could think it's good, but look around and people say it's not good. And then you'll see something else like a month later that's exactly that idea, but someone else had the confidence to like go out and do it.
Yes.
It's a really tough world to go
I think
down.
trial and error was the best way to describe it. And through that trial and error, you learn, you start to trust your own gut, and then you learn what you can apply, how to tweak it to make it your own, what doesn't jive. Some criticism won't jive with what you believe, period. And then you just have to make it work.
Yeah,
It's hard.
and
it takes
just
time.
And
time.
following your own sort of gut, as opposed to listening to what other people will say. Because a lot of times you see some artists that kind of conform a little bit, and maybe they do have real talent, but they're not really willing to seek for it, as Pharrell says, to seek for it within themselves because you're concerned about what the world thinks. So I think that's what set Mags apart, was that she.
Mags.
That's what they call her. They
Oh,
call
I
her
thought it was
Mags.
Maggie. Oh, good. I thought, cool.
I also
No.
consider her a close personal
I-
friend
There it
after
is.
listening
There it
to her
is.
music. So
That's-
that's part of it. But yeah, I think
finish your thought.
Well, basically, final thought would be she really knows who she is, and that is surprisingly hard to do today.
It's very hard to do. It is. Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. We want to know what you have to say, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.